Welcome, viewers. We are here with the Sports Trend episode. It's very special episode, very close to my feelings. It's because we're going to talk today about uh, the Canadian Under 19 team who has just participated in the Under 19 World Cup, and today we joined us Armaan Kapoor. He is a former Under 19 Canadian player who played the 2014 World Cup under the captaincy of Nitish Kumar. He also the part of he was a part of the GT20 with Brampton Wolves. Played both version of season of GT20. Armaan, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Fargbhai. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having me.
And we are welcoming your program because Arman is very heavily involved with his cricket. He loves to coach, and he's a mentor for quite a few young cricketers. He also played for a prominent club in Toronto, and he is a very tough coach for the young guys.
No, thank you. Appreciate the kind words.
Yeah. So Arman, we are here today. We're just trying to do a program on under 19 team who just participated in under 19 World Cup, right? So and you played as an under 19 team. I just want to know like what your feeling was when you participated in an under 19 World Cup for Canada.
Um, my feeling, actually playing and being able to represent my country, is something that cannot be matched. It was a dream come true, and it goes beyond just playing cricket. It's when you have your country's flag on your sleeve or on your heart. I think it's the most special feeling, and you can't beat that.
Oh yes, definitely, and it's like the way I say like this is one of the sometimes once in a lifetime opportunity, right? And because under 19 you can represent Canada in any other format, but under 19 once you are done and you cross the edge. Most probably viewers we will be joined by other members of Canadian team in this participation, and let's see if they will probably join us shortly. So Arman, let's start with the squad we had, right? We just very quickly will go through the squad and introduce. Most people will know, but we just like kind of. So Arman, the squad is here. Aston was our captain. You want to go through with
Yeah.
his whole squad?
Yeah, so you have Ashton, Benjamin, Gurjot, Akhil, Mihir, Rakib, Ishan, Harmanjeet, Arshdeep, um, Rishiv, Nicholas, Mohammed Kamal, Randir Sandhu, and Ayush Verma. So, very talented bunch of guys. And the good thing about this squad is that they've been playing ever since I guess they were 16, 17.
Yeah.
They've represented their state teams together. So the BC guys playing together, the Ontario guys playing together. So they're familiarized with one another's strengths and weaknesses. And I think that's what made this squad so special. Having the chemistry and trust while playing amongst each other.
Yeah. And this looks pretty mature squad, right? They look very well built. And when we met at the send off dinner, everybody say like this is one of the best squad um, uh, picked up for their tournament, and they look very fit. Uh, so let's move on to their performances. Like they played two warm up games because it was a long
Yep.
flight to South Africa, and after that they played three games, right? Maybe let's talk about those games. Could be the performances not as expected as what we expect, but it's a game, and other countries are playing a lot more cricket than us.
Yeah, for sure. So, in terms of the performances, a lot of people who go from Canada, they've been practicing indoor because of the weather that we have in Canada. So it's unfortunate that we cannot get match practice.
Yeah.
However, I know they did go 10 days prior to the tournament, and they did play a club game or a practice game against a university, which was good. I think Cricket Canada really supported them and invested in their future and their performances. It's unfortunate that the decisions or the results didn't go our way, but you know you just have to keep on moving. Maybe a win in the group stage and then the rain out against Afghanistan, we may have been in the top eight versus the bottom eight. if the net run rate was in our favor, but those things happen in cricket, so you can't do much.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still like some strong performances from Canada. Let's go through like some of the performances, like because the tournament is and Canada, I think got 13th position, but I think one of the very positive thing is like our one of our baller, right? Um, I think Akhil Kumar is
Yeah.
he's the most the one of the most successful baller of the tournament. And what do you think is going to stay there for that position?
So with 6 more games to go and the 6 teams playing a maximum of 2 games each, or the possibility of 2 games each, I hope he stays. The only person that I can see overtaking him is Tanvir Sangha, who would probably be playing the fifth place playoff game tomorrow or the day after.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, if Bishnoi from India has a good game, he can overtake. But I'm sure that Akhil will stay in top three, top four for sure.
Yeah, like from somebody from India coming back, it's like about 5 wickets down. So it has to do some
Yeah,
heroic performances for. So Akhil Kumar, like 5 innings, 47 overs, one made in 16 wickets for 246, and best performance for 6 for 46. That was an amazing performance. Um,
yeah.
so
So
what do you think? Like, what?
especially,
Go ahead.
sorry, no, I was just going to say just the economy rate as well, and his average, having an average below 20 and an economy rate below 6.
Yeah,
He's bowling with the new ball and he's bowling with the old ball. I think that's tremendous effort in him, or a person from, or an athlete from Canada being in top five. Even I think it's a great achievement.
yeah, that's good. So we'll go to one of the averages, right?
Yeah.
And
So
also, so Akhil Kumar is in the averages, but like the person who's topping in the average is Usman Walia, right?
yeah, Uday Birvalia. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So they have
As-
two people in this. So
Of course. And you also have to look at the the point how many overs these people have bowled.
oh yeah,
Akil being in the top list after bowling nearly 50 overs, and that
so,
that means that he's bowling his full quotas overs every
yeah,
game. And Udebir only bowled
3.1
3.1
overs.
overs.
Yeah,
Yeah, and him, I think that's again a great achievement by
yeah,
both those two youngsters.
yeah. Again, we're back to the bowling and the best bowling figures in an inning, right? And Akhil 10 overs, one made in 46 for 6. It's amazing bowling against Japan, but still doesn't matter like what Japan qualify for the World Cup. It means they have some strength.
Of course, again, the best currency is either wickets or runs, and it doesn't matter who you make it against. It's hard work, and if anybody could do it, why isn't all 11 doing it?
Yeah,
So that's the way I look at it,
yeah,
and I think we should all appreciate rather than pinpoint what oppositions we're doing it against.
yeah. So back to the high score, and here we have two people. It's Manohar, yeah. So
Yep,
Manohar 100, like the only century from Canada is 101. Manohar against Japan again, and the
yep,
second was Malahir Patel, 90
Meher.
runs to UAE.
Yeah, so I think great effort by Nick as well. I think it was his first game of the tournament, if I'm not wrong, in
Yep.
the group stages, or the first game of if he was playing besides the warm up, and I think he made 100 in the first game. So that's an amazing achievement. And then similarly to Meher, I think that was the first game
Yeah.
against UAE, part of their group stages. And it's a great platform set by him. Unfortunate that he couldn't get to the 3-figure mark, but definitely a wonderful achievement to have.
Okay. And one of the things was Canada did is they scored. They were like the fifth most scorer in inning is 300 against Japan. So that was it's pretty good. Then
Yep.
again they scored 231 against UAE. That was a good achievement too, because see UAE get way more chances to play internationally and on their home ground than Canada.
Of course, and the weather also assists them, right? So
Yeah,
when the weather is good in any country, you're obviously going to have a better structure in playing more matches, and I think that's the best form of practice any player can get.
yeah. And one other thing is Canada also has is the margin of the largest victory,
Yep.
182 runs against Japan.
Yeah. So I think what happened is they started getting into form in the later half of the tournament.
Yeah.
Um, And I did hear that there were some niggles here and there. So after a long flight, they went straight into cricket, which was unfortunate. But I hope that all of these guys had a wonderful tournament and enjoyed their time there and the experience that they received at the Under 19 World Cup.
Yeah. The most sixes. So Somalia has six sixes who just passed through, and then Mohammad Kamal. He plays for your club, right?
Uh,
He's a fast bowler. So Kamal, and then Sandhu, the three
receiver play
people who scored hit like a lot of sixes.
order. Uh, um,
I can hear you, Armaan.
no? Hello?
The last one was to the sixes. Yes.
Yeah, no. I'm glad that there were some power hitters there. I know that Udebier plays in the middle lower order, even against the game against UAE. I think he remained not out on 30 odd or 40 odd, and he had a
Mhm.
couple of sixes in that innings as well. So it's great to see that we have some power hitters coming down the order to end an innings.
Very nice. Let's talk about the most dismissals. So we have two
Yeah,
people, both our
yeah,
keepers, right?
yeah. There's actually three keepers in the squad, if I'm not wrong,
Oh
because
yeah.
I think Nick is also a keeper.
Oh, okay.
He may not have kept the game that he made 100, but I know he is a wicket keeper as well.
Okay. That's nice. There's the 100 we just talked about. This, you know,
Yep,
121.
definitely. Definitely. It's great. Honestly, it's great, and it's a great confidence booster. Puts a lot of, positive energy into a player when he comes right away into the squad and makes an impact, and it also supports the team. If when a team is down and the results are not going their way, no one's feeling good in the camp. So it's good that they got that win under their belts, and then they were able to beat UAE as well in the last game.
Yeah. So there's some comments from our viewers, and let's go back to the other slides we're talking about. So in the most runs, I think we already seen this slide. We have Mahir Patel, 137 runs. Then we have
Yeah,
Joher for 121, Akhil for 121, uh,
yeah.
Klitz for 114, and Mr. Walia for 110. So they're like some batting performances from
Of
Canada.
course, of course.
And then we're back to the most wicket is like 16 wickets by Akhil Kumar. So when we go through with the
Yeah,
slides, we'll talk about some individual performances, and
of
then back to
course.
this. And this is then so this was the team photo and before they left for the tournament.
Yeah, yeah. I think.
So yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I just want to like seeing these youngsters, right? So you transform from an under 19 or 17 to under 19 and then to national team. How do you see like what's the track record say like the people performing on under 19 level and on their capacity? What are the chances they become an asset for the national team or for the country?
So, I believe that everyone who's part of the board or the management at Cricket Canada, they highly take into consideration these performances that do happen
Yep.
at the under 19 level. Um, For me personally, I actually fell away from cricket after under 19. I went back to school. People have other responsibilities and priorities that they tend to.
Yeah.
For me, it was school and work, so I didn't really push myself after under 19. However, I'm trying to get back into or represent Canada at the highest level now, and trying to work as hard as I can to do that. But to me, I think a lot of these players, if not all of them, they have a good structure laid out, and they're very serious about their cricket. I know that Akhil, who's actually the highest wicket taker, I know he plays in New Zealand, and the good thing for him is he's in New Zealand when it's Canadian winters, so he's always playing cricket 12 months a year. He's playing when it's Canadian summer, and he's playing when it's New Zealand summer. Um, and then similarly, other players as well. So I know Nick, he represents Kasra and plays with Sheriff. I know he takes his teams and club to the
West
Caribbean.
China and all those places.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and a lot of these clubs have that. OCA has a good structure where they're taking their players to either Trinidad or Sri Lanka, and they have these camps where they're grooming these players. And I would just urge them to be a part of the national camp, even if it means learning and absorbing as much knowledge as possible, because you never know when that chance will come.
Yeah. No, it's great. And at the same time, before we forget, is like we must give credits to all the coaches and support staff who works really hard with the team and for a long time. So I'm just gonna put the picture, and then you can tell uh, the supporting staff. You want to just mention them. You probably have them. You work with them for a long time. We'll start with the head coach, Mr. Farooq Kermani, right?
Yeah. So I worked with Coach Farouk when we were representing Ontario.
Okay.
A great asset to Canadian cricket, especially the junior program. Has a lot of knowledge. He's played, and I believe he's led Canada as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not wrong, don't quote me, but I think he's also captain Canada.
Yep.
So a lot of experience. He really provides the in-depth knowledge that you need to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I was around him, I just tried to absorb everything I could. Yeah.
What about the other staff? Mr. Manager here.
So the manager is Anil Khanna. So he was actually our manager as well when I went to under 19 camps as well.
Uh-huh.
So when I played under 19, Anil was also our manager,
Okay.
and great guy to have. Very funny, very supportive of the players, and very big heart. He would do anything for his team. He loves cricket and developing cricket. Even when we went to play Canada Cup in BC, just wholeheartedly opened us with open arms.
Yeah. I think we have the assistant coach with the team, and then analyst for Shah.
Yeah, so Shabai actually was our team manager at Brampton Wolves, so got to know him a lot through that as well. And I believe he's also holds a position for Cricket Ontario. So when we went to, or when I was representing Ontario under 18, under 17 teams, he was also there to guide us with anything that we needed and provide us with his experience.
Yeah. I think the assistant coach is from BC, Mr. Singh.
Yeah. So I believe I have not. I could be wrong. I have met him a couple of times
Yeah.
at under 19 camps and junior camps, but I have never toured with him, so it would be unfair for me to comment on.
Yeah. No, it's great guy. I met
Yeah.
him twice, especially actually the both occasion when the team was leaving for World Cup. The once was in 2000, like 2 years ago in 17, when Arslan Khan was the captain for Canadian team, and then again at this time, twice at the dinner and also at the airport. So
Okay.
team and looks like the team had a lot of fun, right? Before they go, we had this official cap handing ceremony. We had this like really cool looking picture for them. We get everybody's, and that was a lot of fun.
Of
And we did,
of course.
yeah, and we did talk about like one of the players who like really the shine at the tournament from Canada, and the both the players. So So now let's go back to like how much you think, like what is the normal percentage of people from under 19 go into play for national side? Like we have a big percentage because I've seen pretty much all the Canadian the captains of under 19 Canada team, they played for Canada. Like Umar Bhatti played long time ago. He was a captain for under 19. Then he played under 19. Then he played a captain Canadian side. Nitish Kumar came from under 19. Arsalan came from under 19. You came from under 19. Rayan played under 19. A lot of people, you want to name any other people? Remember?
No, of course. So there's Harsh, who currently plays for the national team. Then there's Abrash, who led. He's played 2 World Cups. So Abrash was also on the squad when I played the World Cup, and then he led the following World Cup. Then in the past, there were a lot of players who played for under 19 and then were transitioned or fast tracked into national team as well, and they got a lot of exposure. So Hiral Patel, who has the fastest 50 for Canada at a World Cup against Australia. There
Yeah.
was Ravindu. I think Ravindu debuted, or the youngest player to debut for Canada in
Okay.
an ODI game. It could be him or Nitish. I might be mistaking one of the two. And then there was Usman Limbada. Then there's Rustam Bhatti. He played for the national team as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then for my team, there's obviously Nikhil. He played for the national team as well. And then Hamza also played for under 19 Canada. Salman Nazar, under 19 Canada.
Salman still can play
Um,
under 19. Like the way he looks like.
yeah. So a lot of people have played under 19 Canada. And there's obviously Akash Gill, who's training in New Zealand right now. He's the one who made the first 100 in New Zealand for Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
I think
playing cricket in New
Faisal
Zealand.
also played for Canada under 19. He was
Yep.
Faisal Jamkandi. Yeah, he played for
Yep.
Canada. There is a whole lot list. We can talk about it all night long. Um,
Yeah.
so before we wrap up, before I thank you for that, like just let's talk about tomorrow. A very interesting semifinal: India versus
Oh
Pakistan.
yeah. So to be completely honest with you, I have not been watching the scores of any other team except Canada, but I do see some highlights here and there if I'm exploring Facebook or anything. Yeah, big final. Pakistan probably has one of the best bowling attacks in the tournament. It was rated as Pakistan and Afghanistan having the best bowling attack.
Yep.
I feel like it's going to be between India's spinners versus Pakistan's batsmen. India's top order is pretty heavy with the left-hander Jaiswal being in form. I think he struck 60 odd in the semi-final
Mm-hmm.
against Australia, and then they have their two leading bowlers, who is Karthik Tyagi, the seamer, and then Ravi Bishnoi, who's a leg spinner. And then similarly to Pakistan as well.
So who are you supporting tomorrow, Armaan?
I'm neutral. Canada's out, so I can't
Canada
support anyone.
outside? Okay.
Yeah,
No, it's going to be fun.
I'll support New Zealand in the other semi-final.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very political statement, right?
No. Yeah. So
No, it's good because it's good to see the competition, right? Good to see competition from any stage or any level of the game, and again, I would just say like it's just a game. Um, and somebody just comment, Sayyid Amir Rida, it's going to be the battle of the nerves. Yes, Amir, it is absolutely right. Um, so that's a good way to put it. But it'll be interesting game. But like by the time we wake up, is going to half of the game will be done, and we'll see what happens. So this
yeah,
is amazing. Armaan, thank you very much. And like I like the way the thing was conducted, and special thanks to the Cricket Canada to organize everything. It's not that easy. I know a lot of people are going to comment me about that. But it is not easy to run things where the cricket is not your main sport, right?
of
There is
course.
a lot of hurdles until I go to when I do organize different tournaments. When the person who organized it, like what kind of hurdles you go through. But it's still, we commend Cricket Canada, their presidents, and the whole governing body for this, and we thank you for them. And Armaan, thank you again. Thank you for all the coaching staff who they spend their time, travels with the team, train team, and support them. There are a lot of things which we don't know on the ground what happened. So we'll wait
Of course.
for the manager and the captain and coach to come back. And Cricket Canada has, promised us that, or they're looking into to have a briefing from the touring team, and it'll be great. And we'll most likely will invite you again. Unfortunately, the other people could not come tonight, but maybe soon we'll invite you again. So,
Perfect. No problem.
any
My
closing
pleasure.
comments, Armaan?
No, nothing. I think it was a great effort by everybody who went, us, including the support staff and the players. It's tough to go to a tournament where you're not playing 12 months a year.
Yep.
And I always say this to any junior coming up. I think the talent is there. We match anyone's talent in any place in the world. It's just about match practice. I think that's what we're lacking. But I'm sure that it's just upwards and forwards from here on. The next batch that goes on under 19, they have better structure than this one had, and then the following, it just keeps on getting better.
Yep, that's great. Right. With that, thank you very much, Armaan, and we'll hope to see you soon again with another episode for this one. So, with that, everyone, we're signing off from here. Thank you very much. Good night.
Take care. Good night.